Hi guys, welcome to Apparel tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful corporate pencil skirt with side pleats using the slash and spread method. It is detailed, beginner friendly and very easy to understand. So if you love what you see and you really want to know how this was achieved, please watch till the end. And if this is your first time on this channel, please click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And also don't forget to like and drop a comment. So yeah, I'm going ahead to draft my basic skirt with a waist dart, and I'll be using this pattern I've drafted here to cut both the front and the back of the skirt. So the first part I'm going to go ahead to cut is the back. So here I've gone ahead to cut out the back of the skirt using this pattern that was already drafted, and I added my zip allowance of 1 inch on the center back at this point. I did not add allowance on the side and also on the hem because I did that while drafting on my pattern paper, but I added 0.5 inch on the waistline because I'll be adding a waistband to the skirt. So this is what the back of the skirt is going to look like. Next, I'm going to go ahead to work on the front of the skirt. So now I'll go ahead to work on the front block of the skirt. So first I'll go ahead to open up the front block this way. So when drafting your skirt, you're going to be drafting it on fold. After opening, I'll go ahead to eliminate this waist that I have on this side. The first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to measure what I have on the dart area. Here I have 1 inch, so I'm going to take it to the side and mark like you see me doing in the video. Then next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to measure the length of the waist dart. So the length of the waist dart here is 5 inch. I'm going to measure what I have here and also measure it on the side with my pen like this. Then I'll connect that 1 inch with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. Then I'll go ahead to redraw the dart at this side, after which I'll cut off that part. So after eliminating the dart on this side, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to extend this line on the center of the dart to the down of the skirt. So first I'm going to measure the distance between the center to that point, and what I have there is 3.75. I'll go ahead to measure the same 3.75 on the hem of the skirt, after which I'll go ahead to draw a straight line with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So remember the dart at this part has already been eliminated. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to locate the point where I am going to be placing my slash. So I'm going to be placing my tape this way, starting from where the dart stop. Then I'll go ahead to mark the starting point. So this point here is going to be the starting point. Then from that point I'll go ahead to measure 1.5 inch. So the distance between each point I'm marking is going to be 1.5 inch. After marking it, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to draw a straight line to the side of the skirt using my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So I'm going to be drawing the line in a slant manner, so just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. So after connecting to the side, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut out this part of the skirt like this. After cutting, I'll keep this aside. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to eliminate this second dart on this part of the skirt. So I'm going to be repeating the same process. So first I'm going to go ahead to measure the length of the dart and also the width of the dart, which is 1 inch. I'm going to be measuring the 1 inch on the side. Then I'll connect with my ruler and cut out the dart like you see me doing in the video. So the dart at this point has been eliminated. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to slash through the lines here that I've already drawn. So I'm going to go ahead to slash the lines. So when slashing it, you're going to be slashing to a very minimal point. So you're going to be cutting it through, but you're not going to be cutting it out. You're going to be leaving a small flexible space so that you can easily open it up. So I'm going to go ahead to do same for the other lines. After after slashing it open, this is what you're going to be having. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to spread it on another paper. I'm going to go ahead to spread it on this brown paper, and when spreading, the distance between each of them is going to be 1.5 inch. So first I'm going to go ahead to secure this part with my masking tape like this. After securing it, I'll go ahead to measure 1.5 inch with my tape roll this way. Then I will go ahead to secure this other part also with my masking tape. So make sure that this part is laying flat. I'm going to go ahead to repeat the same process on all the other parts. I'll measure 1.5 inch, then secure. So just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. So after spreading it, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut off the excess paper I have at this point like this. So before cutting this other side of the excess paper I have on this part, I'm going to go ahead to pleat the skirt back to its original size. You don't go ahead to just cut it out, because if you cut it out like that, you are going to be having some shortage. So just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. So this is what you should have after pleating it back to its original size. Next, I'm going to go ahead to cut off this excess paper I have here. Then I'll open it up for you to see what it looks like. So this is what you're going to be having when you open it up. As you can see, the side is having a zigzag shape. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut out my fabric using this pattern. So yeah, I'm going ahead to cut out my fabric using the pattern that was drafted. I went ahead to add the sewing allowance of 0.5 inch on this part of the skirt, and I also did the same thing for the waist. I did not add an allowance on the side because I did that while drafting on my pattern paper, but if you did not, you need to add the hemming allowance and also the side seam allowance. So this is what this part is going to look like. I also went ahead to cut out this part of the skirt also, and I did the same thing. I added an allowance of 0.5 inch on this part and also on the waistline. There is no allowance on the side seam because I did that while drafting on my pattern paper. Then next, I also went ahead to cut out this strip you see here. I'm going to be attaching it to the skirt, and the width of the strip here is 2.5 inch. So I'm going to be showing you where to attach it as the tutorial progresses. I'll be attaching it on this part of the skirt. And also I went ahead to cut out the waistband I'll be fixing to the skirt, because the skirt is going to be having a waistband, and this is what it looks like. And the width of the waistband is 4 inch. So when you fold it into two, you're going to be having 2 inch, 0.5 inch for sewing allowance, while the height of the actual waistband is 1.5 inch. So now I'm going to go ahead to start the tutorial proper, and I will be starting with this part of the skirt. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to work on this part, and in doing that, first I'm going to go ahead to mark where the actual fabric is going to be on, that is where this white paper is. I'm going to use my chalk to mark it so that when I'm pleating it, I'm going to take note of where each part belongs. So you go ahead to mark it like you see me doing. So after marking it, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to remove my pattern paper for you to see what it looks like. So this is what you are going to be having when you remove the pattern paper. Next, I'm going to go ahead to pleat it back to its original size. So now I'm going to be showing you how to pleat it. This first line you see here is the waistline. We'll be starting from this second line. So the first thing you're going to go ahead to do is to take this part here and place it on the first line like this. So while you place it, you make sure that this other side here is straight. So I'm going to be placing it this way. Then I'll put it on my sewing machine and start sewing. So make sure that they align before you start sewing. So this is what you are going to be doing. So I'm going to sew over this part like you see me doing in the video. After sewing this part, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to skip this other point here and take the one below and place on it. So I'm going to go ahead to sew over that one also. So I'm going to be repeating the same process. I'm going to be skipping one and take the one below it and place on it. So just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. So after pleating it, this is what you are going to be having. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to attach the side to the skirt. So here I have the side of the skirt. I'm going to go ahead to attach it to this main part of the skirt. So when attaching it, you're going to be placing it this way. Then you make sure that they align. So when sewing, you need to secure it with your pin if you're using a stretchy fabric, because the fabric I'm using is a stretchy fabric and it wasn't easy working with it without securing it with pins. So make sure you secure it with your pin. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to take this strip we cut out and place it behind like this. Then make sure that the three of them align properly before you start sewing. Next, I'm going to go ahead to start stitching it all the way down. And when stitching, you're going to be stitching the 0.5 inch sewing allowance you added to it. So I'll stitch it all the way down, then I'll show you what it looks like. So after attaching the side to the skirt, this is what we are going to be having. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to fold in this little strip we have here on it this way. But before folding, you're going to be folding in 0.25 this way. Then you fold it over on your sewing allowance at this point like this. Then I'm going to go over my sewing machine to stitch it down this way. So make sure that this part here is laying flat. Then you fold in 0.25, after which you fold it on your seam allowance at this point. Then you sew all the way down. I'll also go ahead to attach the waistband to the skirt this way. So you're going to be folding the waistband into two like this. Then you place it on the skirt, on the good face of the skirt, and stitch it all the way. So I'll quickly do that, after which I'll come back to show you what to do next. So after sewing it, this is what it is going to look like. I also went ahead to attach the waistband to the skirt, and this is what we have. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to work on the back of the skirt. So now I'm going to be working on the back of the skirt that was cut out earlier on. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to sew the waist dart on the back of the skirt, after which I'll close up the center back and fix my zipper to it. Then I'll also go ahead to attach the waistband to the skirt like I did for the front. So I'm going to quickly do that, then I'll come back to show you what to do next. So after sewing the darts, fixing the waistband and adding my zipper to the skirt, this is what the back is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to join the front of the skirt to the back of the skirt this way. So you're going to be placing them on each other, then you make sure that the sides are aligning. After doing that, I'll go over my sewing machine to close up the sides. So I'm going to be sewing the side all the way down, and I will do same for the other side also. After doing that, I'll also go ahead to hem the skirt, then I'll come back to show you the final look of the skirt. So after joining the front to the back and hemming the skirt, this is what it is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking so beautiful and the pleats came out very well. You can also go ahead to try yours. So if this video was helpful to you, please don't forget to like and drop a comment. And also, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next tutorial.